Good morning. I'm Claire Godding, and I'm responsible for diversity and inclusion for the financial sector and working at Febelfin. And today, I want to challenge you a little bit on the diversity of your team. You will see why this matters, but let's say that before we go further, let's have a look at the priorities of the financial sector in 2020 in terms of HR and in terms of business. So first, let's have a look at the 5 most significant HR trends in 2020. War for talent, the rise of AI, diversity and inclusion, purpose and culture, flexibility and fluidity. But that is until March, because then we got the virus. And with the virus, some priorities became more important, like continuity, like inclusion, making sure that colleagues working from home were not felt totally disconnected. Purpose, what is the purpose today with this crazy situation? Flexibility and fluidity were, of course, more important than ever. If we look to the biggest business challenges for banks in 2020, well, it was about innovation, about digital, managing risks and compliance, talent, and capacity to keep our clients on board. But that was again until March, because after March, business priorities shifted as well. Continuity, the role of banks in the society was also, of course, keeping the talent on board, and credits, just plain credits, make sure that the risks are not skyrocketing. If you see the complexity and the change in all these challenges, do you think for a minute that this group would be able to solve the complexity of these challenges? Same gender, same age, apparently, totally same culture, same experience. Well, this is definitely not the best team to solve complex problems. In diversity, you have the diversity you see, like skin color, gender and generation, and you have the diversity you don't see, the personality traits, the personal history, the choices, the sexual orientation, the religion, and these aspects, the diversity of them matters as well. So let's have a look to why banks decide to invest in diversity. And this is not new. Several banks are active since 10 years on these topics. First of all, clients diversity. Obviously, clients of banks are men and women of different generations and different origins. Belgium is a very diverse country, so this is absolutely crucial to be able to understand them. And how can we better understand them than if we have this same diversity internally? Collective intelligence, that's a very interesting one. Collective intelligence is the sum of the different intelligences in a group, how it works, how it helps us to come to better insights or to better decisions. I will come back on this one just after. Innovation capacity. If you have in a group different people who have different histories, different habits, obviously, in order to invent new concepts, you are stronger. Risk management is also better when you have a diverse team. Because if you try to identify the different risks present in a company, having different looks, different ways of analyzing things will help. Attracting and retaining the best talents. Imagine for a minute that you are only able to attract men. Well, obviously, you will attract the best men, And then, because you are not able to attract the best women, you will continue attracting like middle-level men or even not the right talents for your company. So it's crucial. And also making sure that you have a more inclusive culture to all. It has been proven that a multicultural group, for instance, a very diverse group, has less risks to have sexism, racism, or homophobia than a very homogeneous one. So all these reasons make very obvious for banks and also, of course, for other sectors that they should progress on diversity. Let's have a zoom on the question of collective intelligence. It's really interesting for you because you will have now with your team to make several decisions. And you will see in this graph, which has been published in a Forbes study by Eric Larson, you see a direct link between the diversity of the team and the quality of a decision. Indeed, a totally homogeneous team, all male, all same generation, same origins, only takes the best decision in 58% of the cases. You immediately see a jump when you add gender diversity, 73%. And attention, gender diversity does not mean adding just one woman to a homogeneous group. It means a healthy mix, ideally 1/3 of each gender as a minimum. When you have a mix combining age and gender diversity, you arrive to 80% of the best decisions. And when you maximize your quality of decisions, it is because you have a mix of generations, genders, and geographic diversity. So this really makes a lot of sense. But it would not work if it would be only about diversity. That is exactly why banks do invest both in diversity and in inclusion. Diversity means attracting and retaining and developing the best talent of all kinds of different talents. But inclusion is when you help them to be truly themselves at work, to express their own ideas. It's because of that that you can be creative and that you can maximize all the benefits. So inclusion is really important. And for you, for your team, inclusion will mean pay a lot of attention to everything your different team members have to say. Pay attention not only to the loudest voices, but also to the introverts. There is a specific threat which is called groupthink. Groupthink, you can seek it on Google, you will find a definition. Groupthink is a kind of problematic situation in a group when one of the persons with the loudest voice comes with an idea and nobody challenges it anymore. So make sure that even your own ideas get challenged because they will get better. Every of the team members has part of a solution. So that's certainly an important message. At Febelfin, we want to improve diversity and inclusion in the whole financial sector, and we work on improving gender at all levels and on improving multiculturality and more specifically also inclusion. You can find more info on all this on the Fabelfin internet site. What can you do as well? As a person, based on all these things, you can do two things. Soon you will be on the job markets. You are soon to finish your studies in your hogeschool. So pay attention to how diverse and inclusive companies are. Check their internet site. Discuss with people who work there, because that makes sense. And in the meantime, check a little bit how diverse is your own group of friends. Are all your friends of the same language, origin, sexual orientation? Do you have friends with a disability? Try to enlarge your group to get other insights. You will get two specific benefits. You will enlarge your comfort zone, which is very important, but you will also gain more social intelligence. Wishing you all a lot of success in this great exercise of the Fin competition, and happy to help you anytime. Thank you.